Welcome to the Ink and Past podcast. I'm your host, Elijah. I'm joined by Ivan, Austin, and Alec. And today we've got some exciting stuff to talk about. But since our Weekend Lorcana is our main topic because of pre release, we're just going to go right into our question of the episode, which I did ask around, and Rocky had a question about the general, like, how do you make, like, what deck is good against what other deck? And then like general meta discussion type things. And it was a pretty broad question, so I just kind of wanted to break it down a little bit and ask you guys, how do you guys make a decision for what deck you're going to bring to an event? So Austin, I'll start with you.
What a person to start with.
True.
Um, so I'm usually known for playing that's a little bit outside the norm. I try to brew up something particular, but what I'm actually bringing to an event, I try to rein it in a little bit. I'll use the last DLC as an example. I was wanted to bring a deck I knew I was consistent with, so probably consistency is where you should start. Like you're not gonna want to pick the thing you think could beat the meta if you have no idea how to play it. So that you're familiar with it, consistent with, and then you can kind of maybe tweak some cards here and there to affect a meta. Like when I was preparing for Richmond, I was like, I want to play Ink Geyser not just because it's fun for me. Like it's a deck that a card choice I enjoy playing with. But I also thought it could help against the mirror. It inherently also helps against like the Blorple matchup, so it helps overwin those matchups that might be either like 50-50 or like 55-45. You could make small preparation changes like that, like tech inclusions. But overall, it should probably be something you're familiar with and have the reps on to be able to consistently play the games, because consistency is going to be the way you win out a full tournament. If you're going to league, like play whatever, right? If you're going to set champs, play whatever, you'll probably do okay or fine. But if it's like a big tournament, you're going to want consistency overall.
Yeah. I wanted you to go first because I know you kind of play these weird decks. You play some racers and princesses, but they do well and you cook with them. And it's like, so you want to play this deck that you're super comfortable on and you have a lot of reps on. And for me, that tends to be like also just purple steel. I have the most reps on it, and I find that I always come back to that deck for an event because it's like 60% into every matchup, and like that's the deck that I want to bring to an event. It gives you some of the best ways to like outskill your opponent because you have the most consistent draws. It's just kind of how the deck runs. Like it's just consistently very good instead of being consistently top of the format, which I think helps it a lot. And that's usually the deck that I'm gravitating towards when I pick a deck for an event. Ivan, how about you?
Uh, for me, it kind of depends on the event itself. Like you were saying, if I'm going to just a local tournament, I'm just going to bring something that I want to experiment with or have fun with, something that I want to catch people off guard and just be like, "Oh, you're doing what to me?" Like I want to, I want to have fun. Discard your hand, fill your hand, deck you out, make you choose wanting to build a snowman. Maybe I don't know. There's all kinds of fun stuff you could do.
Oh no.
Um, but then, but then when you level that up to something like a set champs, all right, set champs are fairly competitive. You do want to bring that thing that's consistent, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a consistent deck like you do, but something that you're consistently doing well with. Like, are you making those micro decisions consistently? Are you used to that matchup, the experience? Because sometimes it's when two players face each other and they're running the same 60 cards, it might be the person that draws better, yes, but sometimes it's the micro decisions, those little nuances. Plus, the local scene. I know when I go to a set champs, I know who's going to be there for the most part. I know how many people are going to be there. I know that all I need is a deck that will go 3-2. If I can go 3-2, more than likely I'm good. If it's something that is going to be a smaller one, then it actually might end up being tougher because maybe you have to go undefeated just to make top four or whatever it ends up being the cutoff. Um, Another factor that Eli is used to as well. What if you already won a set champs? What then? Now you can play whatever you want. Now you can bring the stuff that you're cooking with to catch people off guard. If you know, like, all right, everyone's going to bring their A game. They're going to bring um, Emerald, Sapphire, right? Everyone's running Emerald Sapphire, and you're going to waltz in there with your Amber Steel aggro. You're going to have a good time. So, like, know your local meta. Now, the hard part is, and this is what Austin was saying earlier, is what happens when you go to a large event, a DLC, right? That's when you really have to say, I want to be ready for anything, but as the rounds go and as hopefully you're doing well, you're going to see the same decks. So you really got to bring your A game. You got to bring not just your A game, meaning like hopefully you've practiced enough and you've seen all the matchups, but you've played with your deck enough and you know your outs, you know what you need to do. Oh, I'm playing against aggro. Here's what I'm going to look for in the mulligan. Oh, I'm playing against uh, dogs, uh, blue green, blurple. You should know those matchups by then. So it gets a lot more nuanced the closer you get, the higher the event. But yeah, these are all things that you guys went over a little bit, but that's how I view it. It's just you got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah, I agree. I think once you feel comfortable on certain decks, then you start like metagaming with your deck decisions. And then I think a matchup spread is a whole separate part of this. But Alec, how do you decide what you're bringing to an event? I know you're kind of a blurple player, but
It's a lot like what they were saying. I'm just a little bit more selective on my deck. Like I don't. I've always been the type of person that doesn't like to buy into every deck. I typically lean towards like two, maybe three deck styles for a game when I play. Like this game, I think I've always kind of been on like Blurple, and I always been like looking kind of like red steel or red blue a little bit, and not really been happy enough with them to bring. More recently though, purple, yellow, and Blurple both being options that I would definitely consider. So I do think I have options between them. But when it comes to like figuring out the events, if it's local, um, tend to like think about like 'cause like Ivan said, like I'm used to the like knowing what I'm expecting to be there. Like I know like you'll probably be there with purple steel, or I know like some people locally like play blue steel or amber steel, stuff like that. So I always like think have that in the forefront of my mind, like to think like, do I need to check more towards this person if I'm worried that they're the ones I'm going to have to struggle fighting in the finals. Um, if it's a bigger event, I tend to kind of lean more towards thinking about what is like my biggest weakness on my deck that I'm on. And then I kind of like just think about like that matchup a little bit. Like I tend to with Blurple because I play Blurple almost exclusively. Now I tend to lean a little bit towards the Purple Steel matchup because it just feels like a horrendous match every time I play it. I know the purple mirrors are all pretty 50-50, I would say, but it just feels awful when your opponent just constantly keeps top decking the docks right when they need it. So it's like something to think about is like I'm just trying to figure out like what I can do to make my matchup a little bit more even, so I'm less likely to just like have an auto loss to those matches. And then like when it comes to being like a master of like one deck as opposed to trying all of them, I tend to I know like some of like those niche cards that you wouldn't play as often, like Cusco, the 5-drop that can Inca was an item or a location. Like you don't normally want to play that, but if I knew like a bunch of people were on Chromacon or something, I might consider bringing one of those in my deck. And like just testing out new cards to potentially go into that deck it's nice to have that thought, I guess. Um, but yeah.
yeah, I think there is like deck decisions which are important, but there are a ton of cards that you do or don't play depending on your matchup spread that could change the matchup significantly. So feeling comfortable making those decisions in your own deck because you've played it so much is like equally as important. So I
Like
think
me jumping around like on like the random cards that I could play in Blurple because that's what I'm 90% of the time just going to take to every event I go to right now until I find a new deck I'm comfortable with.
right, exactly. Like your core of your deck can be like 52 cards, and then you're playing around with 8 cards that significantly change your matchup spread. Like if aggro wasn't a part of the meta, nobody's playing grab your bow because it's just not gonna hit anything. Mostly, except like
I
Genie
feel
and
like
Elsa.
for like Alex specifically, you always have like a pile of 20 to 25 extra cards. You're like, oh, I'll sub this in for Blurple today. I'll take this out. I'm trying like a 2 of this or 2 of that just to see what feels
I
good. And
always
then
have a
you'll
maybe
just
board ready
make
to
your
go in this
final
game.
decision right from there. Yeah.
Yeah, in this game,
Yeah,
since we
the
can't
day
have
we get a
sideboards,
sideboard,
right?
oh, it'll
We
be so
can't
good
have
for me because
sideboards,
I'll be able
so
to
it's a
play that.
maybe board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there's
Exactly.
obviously metagaming your matchups, but I think when preparing for most events, at least preparing for local events, you can't really take broad matchup spreads into consideration. You really need to look at like what you've been playing against locally, because that's the stuff you're going to be playing against. But then if you're going to a big event, you do need to pinpoint best deck and format, and then if you feel comfortable on your deck into the best deck and format, you can probably play that deck. If not, it's probably a good decision to just play the best deck. And obviously that all happens with time, figuring that out. Like we don't know that yet for this set because there hasn't been a big event that has basically like cemented itself as best deck currently. So we don't know what will beat that and then be good into that event. But that's kind of the decision you want to make. And then if you can switch out some cards to make your matchup better, then you could just do that instead if that works for a deck you're comfortable with. So we're basically just gonna jump right in to our main topic because I'm just excited. The set released, it's been kind of sick, and I'm glad to actually have these cards in my hand and not be playing with paper on the back of another card that just has a printed picture of it. So how was your guys' releases? I didn't open a ton of product, but I know you guys did, and I want to know what you pulled and how your pre-release was. So maybe let's go through the hits first. So Ivan, how was your however many boxes you opened?
It's funny because I got to our local shop, Pallet Town, a little bit later than most of the folks there. Got my product. I ended up getting a trove and a case, and I started opening and I started recording actually. My second pack in, I ended up getting an enchanted Anna, and I was like, "Oh, there it is!" And I stopped recording. It was literally a video that was a minute and 20 seconds long. It was long enough for me to say, "Cool, look at these new the dice package and the separators." And then I rubbed the pack on Austin for good luck. I was like, "Come on, buddy, give me some of that good luck," because I refuse to open product when he's not around. I need him. He's my good luck charm. And
If you let him do that,
live
Austin.
live on that
He can't keep getting away with it.
video. I was like, "Oh, there it is." What that video was what 1 minute 20 seconds maybe.
I haven't seen this
Um,
video. I need to see it.
well, I think I sent it in the chat.
Did you really? I need to go back and look.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Did you have
it's
those
in there.
goggles on that you have?
Yeah,
that,
he
like,
sure did.
oh,
yeah. My
Do-
point of view. You
for anyone who
actually
doesn't know,
literally
they
see
literally
it
look
point of
like,
view.
what are they, like the
True.
virtual reality? They look like goggles. Like they look so
The
The
fun.
Apple Visions?
Yeah,
it's the Apple Vision Pro, yeah. But I
that's
do my
amazing.
POV from there. I'll probably end up
Yeah.
doing matches from there too.
Yeah, that's sick. I actually like that a lot. I think it probably makes it nice to look back on the match.
Hmm.
Come on. It
But
wasn't just Anna. Yeah. Keep going.
I stopped recording and then I kept going and I ended up getting a few good hits there. I got a couple more enchanted. uh, double Scrooge McDuck enchanted. But I got some of the legendaries I was looking for. But Specifically, I was really looking for a lot of the super rares and rares. Honestly, that was really what I was looking for. The bells, Lilos. There was just a lot of what I would call staples. Um, what other people might call
Were they there on the tier
trash,
list?
I call treasure. Sometimes I got voted out. Check out that tier list. See what I've been said.
He got his playset of Retro Evolution device. He's ready to go.
Right, exactly.
That's right. I already played it. I already
I
played
can't.
with that
Yeah,
deck and
he's
went
over it.
2-1, but we'll get into that later. We'll get into that
Right,
later.
right. All right. And you pulled. I know you were really excited about pulling the angel, and you pulled some of that. So I'm happy for you.
I think I got 2 angel, maybe 1.
I have an extra one if you
I
need.
forget.
If you
I
can
have
give
an
me
extra
your
one if you
enchanted
need mine.
Anna, because I
Oh,
want the Anna. Anyway,
Okay.
Austin. Austin, how about
hold
you?
on, Ivan.
Oh,
How many of those were in the case?
oh, good question.
How many?
Enchanteds.
Enchanteds. Did you get 2 in a case?
I
He
got 2
did, yeah.
enchanteds
It
in
was
one
double
case.
Scrooge.
The one where I was saying that I opened my second pack and got the
The
enchanted
trove.
was from a trove.
Oh, right, right,
Got
right.
it.
I
Because
always
then the
open a
last
trove
one you
first.
messaged us the next day, I think.
Actually,
Oh, yeah, and then.
so I did end up getting a 4th enchanted. So I usually get an extra box with some store credit, and paying a little more from heart of the game. And my kids helped me open up those packs because they like opening packs from their Pokemon days. But my daughter ended up packing an enchanted and also an epic, I think it's called.
Some good luck.
But anyways, my kids were pretty good luck. Leo pulled some shinies that weren't as cool, but he was really excited for shiny Maui actually.
That's
The
cool. The
4
rush
drop,
one? Nice.
the rush one. He was like, shiny Maui. I was like, yeah.
I'm so happy for
Yay, yeah, it
you.
is. But no, it was a good time.
That's awesome. All right. Austin, how'd yours go?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, that was Enchanted Color of the Wind.
Right.
Oh,
Because
sure
you didn't mention
was.
which.
Guy. I didn't get too unlucky this go around. I accidentally bought. My intention was 2 boxes in a trove. I ended up with 3 boxes because I pre-ordered an extra one from one of the other stores, and it's fine. It all worked out. Because my trove was trash, I pulled nothing from that. I pulled an enchanted Anna from the 1 box. Shout out Heart of the Game for providing that. And then yeah, my other 2 boxes from Palette. Between myself and my uncle, we like share a card pool, so between the both of us, we got pretty much like all the legendaries we would be hoping for. He got his Wreck-It Ralphs. We got a pretty good playset of. I think we're missing 1 Moana. We got like 3 Pocahontases. The only legendary we didn't get was Darkwing Duck. And I think we have only like 2 Angels. So I think like what we're color like playing wise this set, I think we got all the legendaries we might need besides Ohana. So if we're gonna have to shell out right now, I think it's like $20. So I
Honestly,
could
not that
borrow
bad.
1. It's overall, yeah, not that terrible. Like if I have to shell out $80-$70 for a playset of Ohanas, I don't think you need to play it as a 4 of in most lists. So you probably only need 2, 3, depending.
And
So we'll
that,
see on that.
yeah, that's better than the $40 each that legendaries have been at release, and then up to
Correct. Yeah.
60. So
Yeah, I think the overall, like the largest legendary right now is the Angel, which is sitting like 25.
Angel or Moana? I
Uh,
think Moana's high too.
oh, the Moana and Angel, they were like neck and
What?
neck for like which one was more expensive.
Moana's
Isn't Moana
unplayable. I
cheaper
don't
than
I
get
noticed
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
so
thought Moana
they
was
went down
crazy.
in price. Moana was very expensive. They both they were like 25, 24-ish last
That
time I
sounds,
checked.
yeah, that sounds about
okay.
right.
Which is overall, we were talking about cost wise, like on a couple podcasts ago about the cost of legendaries so far. So good. Got a playset of the 4 costs Donald Legendary. Rachel's borrowing those for her green purple list. Same thing, we pulled like epic genies and epic Minnie Mouses for that list as well. So those are getting put to use. think just a couple of the super rares we were really missing. Some of out of like 5 boxes, we were missing like we pulled like one rare of certain cards, which is just weird distribution. But we got a double playset of super rare bells.
Oh my gosh.
Not too shabby.
That's
So if anyone
crazy.
needs the super rare bell,
Maybe you might
meet
need
me in the back alley.
right behind Pilot Town.
But yeah, meet me behind Pallet Town tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I'd say pretty happy with what we got. I got everything, pretty much everything I'm gonna need for the decks I want to play. Besides Ohana, but we'll cross that bridge, see if it's even necessary.
Right. No, that's sick. So together you guys opened 5 boxes in a trove?
5 boxes, 2 troves,
2 troves, okay.
and a couple random loose packs. So
To get like right, because the pre-release packs and stuff.
Yep.
That's honestly that's pretty good to get most of the stuff you need. Like that's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And then Alec, how much product did you actually end up opening?
I got a box. Yeah, I was originally I keep like telling myself I'm gonna like go down and like not get as much sealed product, and every set I'm like, you know what, I have some store credit or there's a bunch of playables or something that I need, and this set was no different. I found that there was a lot of staple like commons, uncommons, rares, super rares in this set. I was only actually really interested in Moana as a legendary, so I wasn't even like really concerned with legendary. So I was like, oh, that seems like a perfect opportunity for my box. Like, you know, I can just pull a bunch of stuff I want. My box was one of the worst boxes I've ever had.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the sheer fact of no value. It was the impact of just no playables that I wanted. Like nothing. Like I didn't pull a single Grandmother Willow. I didn't pull like commons and uncommons that I needed, like Copper and Liquidator and stuff. I didn't pull enough of. I think I pulled like one. Of the super rares and rares I wanted, I pulled like nearly none of them. The only one I can probably say I pulled what I needed for was Sven. I pulled 2 Sven, which I was going to use I used on Monday. I didn't pull a single Bell, a single Pete. Those are like the super rares I was looking at. I was like, oh, it can't be that hard to pull like one of each of these super rares, right? And of course, you know, I get unlucky and not get either one. So yeah, unfortunate for me. I was the worst of the 3, I guess, but it's fine. I wasn't too thankfully, like we talked about with the pricing of the set. The super rares that I wanted weren't only like $2-3 a piece, so I just bought them all after the day after.
Yeah, you also did get
That's
some Riftbound.
super.
So
I
yeah.
know it's not a Riftbound podcast, but we like gambling.
Friday I was like, oh, the new set of Riftbound was out. I was like, I'll get a box of each, and so you know I didn't have to spend too much because I used some store credit to get them both, and Riftbound was just as bad. That was I think I told you guys, but yeah. So both boxes were just awful, and I was so upset about it. Thankfully, because I didn't spend a lot of money on it, it wasn't like the end of the world. But I ended up fixing my luck because on Friday when I opened my product and was upset about it, I ended up going to play Riftbound that night, and they had a couple pre-riff kits left at the store. So I ended up grabbing one, ended up pulling one of the $300 overnumbered cards out of it. So a guy locally bought it off me, and I was able to use the extra funds to get some of the stuff I wanted from this set.
Sick. I'm happy for you.
There you go.
Yeah, me too.
I wanted you to bring that up because the story had a little bit of a happy ending.
It is a pretty nice ending. I just involved a different card game, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, so as far as my pre-release pack opening went, I didn't buy any product basically. I mean, I got there and I think I bought I think I bought 2 packs for fun, and then I knew I was getting the pre-release packs. My 2 packs
For sealed, right?
yeah. My 2 packs were trash that I bought, and then I so graciously let Austin and Rachel pick out their 6 packs for their
Uh-oh.
for their pre-release because I was like, ah, I'm just here, and I don't want to be the one that picks a pack and then somebody else gets it enchanted. So I was selfish. And it ended up
Mm.
biting me in the ass because Austin picked his packs, and then Rachel picked her packs, and then I picked mine, and then Rachel pulled Enchanted Raging Storm. I'm sitting there like,
Yep.
oh, that could have been mine. Those were the packs that I was gonna grab.
Yep. Enchanted Raging Storm and a legendary Angel like
In the
foil
same
from
pack.
those as well. Yep.
It's pretty nice.
hmm
Yeah, so
That's pretty good.
never do that, kids.
Yeah, never be a gentleman.
Now, I was
Can't
not
have
being
it.
a gentleman. I was being so selfish. But honestly, I wasn't that upset. Like, I'm happy for her, and the only card I really want from this set is Anna, so that's why I'm not buying a ton of product. I want Anna. I
And
have the Let It Goes, and it's like my
and
favorite card.
Elijah, how many Annas were pulled? By chance on Friday.
3 Anna Enchanteds were pulled in front of my eyes.
Almost a playset. Yep,
The card
exactly.
is gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and the foiling on, like, you have to see it in person. That card is beautiful. And Scott pulled one, and I'm so happy for him because it's his chase. And like mine is Anna, and then I want the Eeyore Enchanted too. But like I want to play the Anna, so it would just be perfect. It's just like it's okay.
It's wild how many people locally pulled the same
Yeah,
enchanteds.
because
There's so many
3
Annas
people pulled
locally.
Annas, and then the store Cold
Cold never
doesn't bother
bothered
me.
me, I
Yeah.
think. Ben
I wish he
can't
was
believe
on.
that.
I wish he was on
I
because he could talk
know.
about this because bro is traumatized because so many people
And then
locally.
locally we saw so many others pull them.
Yeah. So
It's
maybe a
great.
weird distribution. I don't know, but my pre-release packs were also trash, kind of. I didn't pull a legendary, and then I got an epic Ana that is a little dinked, unfortunately. Um, but other than that, like packs wise, oh, we did play at Heart, and then I got 2 prize packs with some of my store credit, and they both had a legendary in them. It was Angel and the Donald, so that was pretty cool. And those were the best 2 packs I opened so far this set. So maybe I can just keep winning and kind of stretch out how I'm buying my packs. That is probably what I'll do for the rest of the season. But we went through what we pulled, but how was your pre-release experience? Because like mine was okay,
What?
I guess, but
Yeah,
you
I
can
was
talk
like,
about my experience for me, Austin.
yeah, like one final like touch on the like polling portion of the
Yeah.
pre-release, but yeah, it's always just good. Everyone hanging out at the store before the sealed event starts, and everyone's opening product and having a good time. Like I said, lots of enchanteds were pulled, lots of people's like chase cards. An iconic Pocahontas was pulled. Rachel got that as well. Not to continue
On
to talk about
fire.
how lucky she is, lucky as compared to everyone else, but 2 enchanteds
She's
and
very
an
lucky.
iconic in her stuff. Yikes. Uh, wish I had that luck, but that's fine. But yeah, it's just always a good time hanging out, opening the product before
Yeah, it was.
the events. Sealed was fine. It was fun, like it usually is. It's just pull your packs, put what you want in your deck, have a good time. Um, Strangely enough, we were all fighting for sealed because nobody wanted to draft. I think mostly nobody wanted to draft because it was also like so late as we're starting, and then like we're gonna be there till like 11:30
Yeah, it'd be a long
if we
time.
draft
You
and
must have
then
won.
play. Yeah, that it could have done that, but um, it's like we all wanted to do sealed. I think when I was like opening the cards in my sealed, I was like, this set might actually be better to draft, and it might be inherently. They were already talking about like the changes they made, that the card distribution types that they wanted for draft, and how they decreasing the card deck size for draft, and so maybe it would be like fun to experiment with that this time around. But sealed wise, like I pulled the Donald Legendary and just slapped as many boost cards there as I could, and that felt pretty good. Um, Elijah, yours was busted just because you got like 12 cards that said
Look,
draw a card and then just played 6 drops every turn for the rest of the game.
I got 4 cards that essentially drew 2 cards. I got 2 marching off to battle, um, Colors of the Wind, and the 4-drop uninkable one that whenever you play it, whenever your character's quest for the rest of the turn, you draw a card.
Ooh,
Mhm.
nice.
So
Well, the Amber card.
yeah. And then all of my characters were like huge stats for no reason. I had 2 Terrans that have rush. It was like kind of a crazy cracked sealed pool. I did end up losing to Chris first round, but he conceded so he could go drive to Toronto because he's a good husband. And so
True.
I got the win and got to keep playing it. So I ended up going 3-0 in quotes.
Oh man, I shouldn't have had to face you in the last round, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's
Shouldn't have
ridiculous.
gotten smoked.
Mhm.
And then Ivan, you
Hey.
didn't play in the pre-release, you just opened packs, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of draft or sealed, honestly.
It's fine. It's like the
definitely
people's
one of
preference.
those. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind it, I guess, but I was just too excited to pack. And then once you open packs, my next thing is organizing cards.
Yeah. And your
I just love
adrenaline's worn
organizing
up.
cards.
Yeah.
I just
Well.
like it so much. I think it's part of the way my brain works.
Yeah.
One thing that I'll say
Little touch
for
of the
draft
tism.
on day one is I don't like doing draft necessarily on day one as well, because then you're just like, I'm just gonna pick the card that I need for
Yeah.
myself
I
instead
agree
of the
with
card
that.
that's good for draft. Like if there's Ohana, I'm just taking Ohana,
Yeah.
even though that card is, maybe that's a bad example because it's probably good in draft, but
It's probably
either
okay
way.
in draft, yeah. I don't worry, I'm not skipping Alec. I just know he also did not do a pre-release for Lorcana.
Oh, yeah.
But you did do a pre-release
You're
for
good.
Riftbound.
Yeah.
And how was that? Like, how is their pre-release format? Like, is there something that Lorcana could improve on that you think
Sure.
was good?
So they already have which I didn't get to play the first set, so I didn't know how that. But they apparently just did packs for that. But this set, they actually had a whole pre-release kit, like what we're going to be getting soon. Except in that pre-release kit, instead of 6 packs, it was 5 packs, and the 6th pack, it was a random color specific pack. So it's like a seeded to a specific deck combo. So their sealed is a 30 card deck. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 30. Yeah, it's 30 card deck. So it's 10 cards less, I believe. And uh it's 3 colors instead of 2, which is normally how that game plays. But I think that would also be a similar way that would work out nice for Lorcana. But the 6th pack, there's 6 different legends, 2-color legends that could be in the legends in the pack. It'll come with a champion that matches that legend, and then it'll come with I think it's 15 cards total in that pack, and they'll all be like staple cards in the common uncommon slots for those color combos. So it kind of helps you get like the base of that color combo ready to go. I think that would be an interesting way to build a more fun and interesting sealed pool, like because you kind of lead you into a specific color combo maybe. Something that could be fun for this game too. But it is interesting that we are going to be getting the pre-release kits soon. I hope like there'll be more interest in playing sealed maybe when those come out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they just come with 6 packs. I'm really not sure.
I believe it's 6 packs and a promo, and if it is a promo, I don't know if it's like only like of like 1 or
Okay.
2, or if it's like all of them.
Yeah, I think
can
the
be promos.
biggest thing with both of their sealed formats is they just need to push people to play certain archetypes that they wouldn't normally play in constructed. And I think
Mhm.
like having a set archetype like Riftbound does, even though it's like kind of easier because you have your champion to build around, like I think just having something like that where you're forced to play into this, because nobody actually ended up really playing sealed. Like a ton of people got their packs, played the first round, and then dropped and went home. And I don't know. I'm there to play an event. Like I wanna, and I get it. Like people
Yeah, what
got stuff
about
to
you,
do. It was
Alec?
late, and I completely
Just kidding.
understand
I'm
not
not
wanting
gonna
to
start
do
dissing
draft.
everybody. I'm
I would
sorry.
love.
Oh
I
no.
love doing draft, but I also
What?
quite
Toxic.
often
What did I do on
detest
Monday?
people end up just picking what they want. Like if somebody
Anyway,
Can anyone
open that
hear
pack and
Alec,
it's an
by the way?
enchanted,
yeah.
and
Can
then
you not
Yeah,
hear
can you
you
hear
Alec?
Or
marry
not
that you
Alec.
really wanted to, and then you
Austin,
have to
sorry.
pass the legendary. What? Also, like
I'm
you can't
so
hear him at
sorry.
all.
Come on.
Okay, there you are.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So it's not a good day one experience. Editor, hold on. Let me actually write this down because I don't think I'm gonna have to just go in general. The entire maybe there's a way to improve on this to get people to like really kind of roll in this pre-release format. So I'll just put our time. Maybe just something to improve
Well,
on in the future.
it also depends on the pricing.
Yeah, I would
Because
agree.
generally speaking, when we do I guess maybe that's another thing that I felt maybe wasn't attractive about doing it is there wasn't really any pricing. You're just playing, which I guess playing for fun isn't like the worst thing in the world. I'm okay with that. It's just like
it's essentially a
sometimes
sealed
you need
league, is what we do.
yeah.
Once
I
again,
would say that's one of the reasons I
yeah.
like playing it like heart of the game when I go locals on Mondays. Is like I do like getting prizing as well. Having like a $5 chip per win, I think is a nice like incentive to like want to play there. I think getting packs for wins, stuff like that, is like a good like incentive. You know, getting something kind of prizing. Like I like local play, and it's like nice when there's no pressure for anything. But like I like a little bit of a prize, you know.
Mhm.
Like, even if you're playing like a more for fun deck, like you know, it's still nice to be able to get a little bit of a prize out of it.
Yeah, and that way you know you're not bringing complete garbage because you want to get some of those chips. Even though sometimes
Sure.
I do bring complete garbage. Which I guess kind of segues actually to Monday when we played at Heart of the Game. And we all decided to bring decks except Ivan. But he has also been cooking with Retro Evolution
I was
twice.
also being a good husband.
Yeah, oh look. I can only shout out Chris for that. So on Monday, that was our first in-person without proxies, even though you could bring proxies if you had, but with some of your real cards that you just pulled, and with all of the new decks, we had a pretty good turnout. We had 10 people, which is a little more than usual, which was nice. And we brought, shout out to Marty for putting this list together. We all, out of the 10 people, there were only 2 people on the same colors, and that was Amber Steel. Oh no, okay. There was Amber Steel as 2 people, and then there was Yellow Purple as 2 people, but 2 very completely different decks between the 2 of them, and then everybody was playing like their own type of thing, which was super cool to see. And I played Powerline, and Austin played Powerline, and that
Very
could
different
not
one.
have made me happy here. Like great experience to check in and be like, how did your Powerline deck do? But Alex, since you didn't play Powerline, how was your Monday event?
Good. I brought Blurple. I had been testing Yellow Purple recently, and I tried Blue Red last week. But I was like, Blurple's been my tried and true, so I was like, you know what? Let's take Blurple for a week, and then if I want to go back to a Yellow Purple, I'll do that next week. But so I did a couple minor cards to just try out in Blurple. I've added, I think it's Isis Vanderchamp. I think is her name.
Vanderchill? Vanderquack?
Vanderchill?
Something. No,
Something like that.
something.
But I played. I really like her because I think she breaks the paradigm of the waiting till turn 5 or 5 resources to be able to tap stuff down with Elsa. A lot of people like decks with like good shift lines. I can't keep up with them for that reason. Austin. But I like the idea of being able to have Isis because I could potentially have it a turn earlier and potentially be able to interact with those before like a turn 5 resource shift Clarabelle, for example. Like there's some things that they could potentially be good into. One of the other namely things I thought that was good into was Grandmother Willow against the purple yellow match because it breaks their ramp basically, so then they get knocked back down to 4 if I hit them on their 4, or if I hit them before they go to 4, it can slow them down a bit, which I think is really interesting. It ended up working out very well when I played it. I also brought 2 Sven, a lot of uninkables, but I wanted to try some of these cards out. Sven felt amazing. The fact he's just so easily able to pick up some stuff. I added 2 Tigger, which I was very shocked by. I did not expect to like Tigger in that deck as much as I did.
Is he the one that returns something to hand?
Bounces a character, item, or location of 2 or less when it enters, and it doesn't specify your opponent or you. So I kind of feel like it might replace Mim in a way, I don't think it's 100% replaces Mim, but like the fact that like a lot of times on curve, Mim would just come down on turn 3 and you bounce one of your 1 or 2 drops. And I think that's kind of interesting. Is like, oh, I could play this on turn 3 and either bounce one of my things to have another Inkable, or bounce one of their things if it's a matchup where it's really good for me. That felt pretty good into like aggro, into other purple decks. Good for like taking care of shift targets as well. And I think the only other yeah. So Pete, I hadn't seen a lot of people testing with Pete in Blurple, but I think Pete is really good in Blurple. Being like a Grammatala basically that works every turn with the stat lines of a Scrooge McDuck, it feels amazing. I'm very happy with how he turns out, because even if he's just there as a big body threat, like he feels worth it for 5. And lastly, Let It Go. The world is right again. I'm so happy Let It Go's back. It felt really amazing to have extra removal in the deck. So yeah, do you want me to go through my matchups?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to like to talk too much. I didn't know how.
No, you're
what you were
okay.
doing.
It's like
Um,
we played against a bunch of different stuff, so yeah, totally go
Sure.
through everything.
So my first one was Austin. He was playing the red yellow power line, which he'll be talking about in a
Spoilers.
minute. Yeah. I figured that based on like being a power line deck, that with the Isis Vanderquack and the Elsas and stuff like that, I'd be able to easily like deal with his like problematic threats, which is exactly what did happen. So I ended up like preventing power line and stuff that I don't want to like. I'm trying not to spoil everything about your deck, but just I was able to like deal with the problem threats and kind of just like maintain control of the board. But I can't wait to hear about how you describe the matches, because that was really interesting to see like Powerline pop off in that deck. But then I ended up playing against Purple Yellow in my second round against Marty. I did feel like Sven and Isis did make a difference in that match, a decent amount. They felt very good into that match, especially because I definitely had answers to deal with Grandmother Willow, so I could knock them back down a resource, so I could stay ahead on the ramp game. So he also ended up getting a little bit screwed. He got flooded with 1-drops and 2-drops that weren't drawing him into cards. So ended up kind of going over him a little bit easily, unfortunately. Not as much of a back and forth. But anyway, and then back into the third game against Sarah, who was undefeated and playing Amber Steel aggro. I did feel like the changes I made to the deck gave me a very good chance to win those games, and they were very close games. But she ended up taking the third one. Very close. I interacted for the whole game. She was actually pretty much like run out of steam, and I had pretty decent amount of threats on board. And then she proceeded to, no thanks to Eli for jinxing me and saying that the dock would be on the top of her deck. She did. She drew a dock right into enough characters. She docked into character into dock into a 3-quester, and she was at 14, so she had 6 questing on board, and I had expelled all my good removal and topped into nothing valuable, unfortunately. So she ended up taking that one, but it was very close. So I'm very excited with the changes to Blurple. I think the deck feels a little smoother with the new cards, and I like some of the 4-drops, so I'm really excited to keep testing them.
Yeah, I feel like Isis and Sven are both very good for that match. Oh my god, and Tigger too. Like
The hard part is they all, oh sorry, not Tigger, Isis and Sven are uninkable.
yeah,
So
true.
I played 2 of each, which got me up to 12. It only affected me like 1 game, and it was barely like I kind of got around it. It just had to ink some awkward cards, but I don't know if I can cut either of them. They're so
They
good.
seem
Like
so good.
I love that they're both good in different situations. Like if they try to tap too early, like Sven can easily pick up something. If they have a problematic threat like a Grandmother Willow or a good shift line, I can easily deal with it with the Isis and have like a 1-drop pick it up. It felt really nice. So I don't know. I'll keep testing them, but I don't know if I can cut either of them.
Yeah, I think that deck is going to be the deck that I'm looking towards for a competitive deck. It seems like pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Mhm.
just with all of the new cards I got as support. Before we get into the power
Yeah,
line
with
decks.
with
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say just with the inclusions you made, it just felt like I mean, Blurple already felt like it had like a bunch of answers to like deal with ready characters or like to tap down and like clear boards, but
A
now
lot
it's just
more.
like, oh yeah, Isis taps and Elsa taps, and if you are tapped, you have Into the
Demona.
Unknown, and if you're not tapped, you have
Let It Go.
Let It Go
Hades.
and Hades. I don't even know if you were playing Demona in that list. I didn't
I
see
have
it. If
two.
you
I'm
did.
gonna go to a third when I get it, but it's in the mail.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't even have a full 4 of Demonas in there or 3 of Demonas to
Mhm.
continue to tap down even more. So it's like
But I did after the game. I did.
it feels like you have so much ways to just like deal with a board that's trying to set up and recover.
I know I'm going up 2 more because I added 2 magical maneuver. I found that like
Mhm.
hypnotic wasn't that necessary, and I think that having the magical for the bounce effects for the Pete's and the what is it, Cheshire Cat would be useful.
Yo,
So we're
then
gonna try
Yeah.
then your Pete can just you get all the cards from under it.
more chances to be able to find a character that has boost to be able to just pick up cards from.
Nuts. All right,
Mhm.
before we get into the power lines, because come on, that's the main topic. We're the Powerline podcast. Ivan, you didn't go, but what deck would you have brought? And like, what is the deck that you're most excited to play on paper? And for like, for real, for real.
What do you mean for real? For real?
Like, no paper proxies, no anything. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Um, it's hard to say. So I did end up playing the previous Monday with proxies. Um, the retro evolution device, just because you told me that that card was trash, so
It
obviously I don't play
is.
it if you think it's trash. And I ended up going 2-1, only losing in the final round there. But that card, I liked it. It still needs, some work on it, but it was fun. This week, I kind of wanted to experiment with. Well, it's not really an experiment, but I want to play a lot more with the Lilo theme and with John Smith's Compass. Um, I honestly think John Smith's Compass has a lot of potential. Um, as like it's weird to say it, but almost like a mid-range tempo. But it's not. I don't know. Once I get that deck going, it's going to be interesting. And I'll show it to you tomorrow. But I'm actually really excited for that deck just because it's like very like I'm not trying to rush you. I just happen to be consistently putting something out there with Compass.
Yeah, I know you're high on that card. Ugh, I don't know. I see the vision for this card way more than I see the vision for Retro Evolution Device, and I still think that card's trash. It would be playable if it had a better ability, but it doesn't.
I think a lot of cards would be more
If
playable.
the card,
Ability.
let's say if the card was completely different,
If the card
it'd
was
be playable. So
if it was a character and not an item, just yeah, if it quested for 15 lore, it would probably be good.
Oh yeah.
But it's
I'm
not.
just saying,
So.
since we're going into the main subject, Retro went 2-1 and Powerline went 0-3.
Whoa, no, you guys gotta
Just
stop
saying.
lying about this. It went 1-2 because I got the buy. And that was 2 weeks ago. I wasn't playing Lilo because
Yeah.
I didn't have them. I didn't find them. But I'll get into
And this
that in
week
my
you've got
section.
Goofy.
So speaking of 15 lore in one turn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
All right. So, anyways, that's what I've got, along with 10
Right.
other lists. But
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure your dream board is full.
it is. There's no choice.
I
All right, go ahead. Show me this power line you speak of.
I want to go first
Do
because
you
I
wanna
want to
go
save.
first? Yeah.
I want to save best for last, and I think your list is super interesting, and I'm like
Uh-oh.
actually excited because like I think that I don't know which direction Powerline needs to go in, and I like that you're cooking with different colors than mine, so I'm excited to hear about your list. I Look, I've been saying since the beginning of this set that I want Ana. I just want this Ana. I want to play with this Ana. I did not play with this Ana. But I did for 2 or 3 hours before Heart, I was like thinking about it and building deck lists, and I built this purple yellow deck list that has like Mirabelle in it, so you discard. It's this whole jank. There's no way it plays well in paper, like, but we're gonna have to try it at some point once I get my Anas. So I played Powerline because I didn't have testing on this, and I just really want to play Powerline. And I play blue-red Powerline because I love singing Dig a Little Deeper and Down in New Orleans. Dino's the combo. It's Powerline sing Dino, ready him when he plays a Lilo for free off the top of the deck. He sings Down in New Orleans again, and then it's just like, it's crazy. Like the deck can pop off. It's a very combo heavy color combo, but the inclusion of Let It Go from this set is so good. Let It Go is so good. Make sure you have the Lilos in when you're playing this list. If you're not playing the Lilos, it's wrong, and it helps it become a combo deck with a higher ceiling. And then Grab Your Bow. Going through my matchups, I played Amber Steel aggro. I would not have won that game if I did not find Grab Your Bow in my opening hand and also Shark. And then played Grab Your Bow, played Shark. They can't tap down anything. I play some more stuff, so now they have to do something. And then they're singing like the song that reduces the cost of stuff to try to get the ball rolling again. So now they have something exerted. So I grab your bow back, and then I play it. And none of these are blue cards, so maybe yellow's better. But it was very cool to be able to actually have a chance against aggro. And then I played against Sarah, also on aggro, on such a quick list. And it's playing Nani, and that card is really good too. And I got smoked. We played 3 games, but that's because the first 2 were over so fast that we just wanted to play it out again. So I went 0-3 in that matchup, and there's nothing I could do about it, and that might get me off of this deck. But then I played against Rachel on green-purple boost cards, like this Genie and this Donald. That Genie is nuts. If you leave it alone, I'm pretty sure it quested for 7 on the last turn of game 2 to win her that game. Those were some very close games. Those were interesting games. I enjoyed playing them and like thinking through the lines. Oh yeah. Also against Sarah, I feel bad and I gotta apologize because she played out her turns so quick. She's playing an aggro deck and she's playing cards, turning sideways, and she's at 19 lore, and I have Powerline on board, Grab Your Bow, and Dig a Little Deeper in hand, and I have to sit there and start thinking, and I'm pretty sure I think for, it's probably like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm thinking like, what cards do I need to hit to have a chance against this aggro deck right now? And then I play the Down in New Orleans first, and then I start digging, and so I'm looking at 7 cards in my Dig a Little Deeper, and then I'm looking at like 4 more cards in my hand, and I'm just sitting there thinking, and I feel so bad because she's probably there like, you have no chance, bud. Just wrap it up. And I'm I'm like thinking, but I think that's so cool to like be able to play towards your outs in this deck. Like it's super cool. I love playing the deck. I don't know how competitively viable it is. That was kind of my wrap up for it. So, Austin, I want to know your thoughts on it.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
In the Sarah matchup,
Yeah.
how often did she Mowgli you?
I got Mowgli'd once both of the first 2 games, but I either had like Dig a Little Deeper or Down in New Orleans as buffer, I think, for my Grab Your Bow if I had it. Like I always had a buffer action for the first Mowgli. I think if the deck ever gets double Mowgli'd, it's kind of screwed. But it can usually play against one
Yeah.
pretty well. You're also
Okay.
generally depending, like if they're playing the Lightning Bolt card, Along Came Zeus, but worse. You're never playing Powerline because it just gets sniped. So
Through
there's
his Thunderbolt.
She was, so Powerline was a very last resort kind of thing. It's like it's one of these decks where you need to look at all of your options and you need to decide when you have to high roll. And it can. Like, it's very good at high rolling and doing some crazy things. But there are some times when it's just duds, and then when you when you have to play a power line and then it gets popped immediately by one action, or you play your Maui Shark and there's like 15 actions that can hit it and kill it. It's like it's a very you have to like it's a very risk assessment kind of deck. Which I like. It's very cool to think about, but yeah, it can get hit by so much and just fall flat.
Okay, thanks for answering.
Yeah, of course. Austin, how about you? What are your thoughts on the GOAT Powerline?
Uh, so it's very fun because, like you mentioned, there is a ton of pop off potential inherently from just playing a bunch of songs for free. So what you're kind of mentioning the differences between like you're playing red blue obviously for Powerline. You can ramp quickly. You can drop just the big bodies inherently. You got Down in New Orleans as a payoff. I was trying Ruby Amber, like a songs build. I didn't necessarily try to build it as a Powerline deck initially, but I was like, you're already playing maybe the 2-cost Singer 4 just to have a Singer on board on turn 2, like more options than just Vanessa. And I don't really like the Angel very much, I think, so I was trying to steer away from that. So I was like, well, we'll just make it a Powerline deck. Why not? I got like 4 Ruby Amber decks built. This is the one we went with. Because we're making Ruby Amber work
Big
one of these
Ruby Amber
ways.
guy.
One of the 4 ways we'll make it work. But it was built around playing your higher cost characters for cheaper, right? So you got the new song, the Akut and Muti discount by 2.
Right.
I also had a little Mulan and Ruben package in there, so it was like Mulan and Ruben to get a 5 dropout, or you go 1 cost a Singer 4 and then sing a Coot to get a 5 dropout. So you could play your Surfboard Stitch, or you could play a Lilo to ready your Singer, or you could play the 3-cost power line and another Singer 2, and then because you sang a song, the 3-cost power line rushes in. So you had a bunch of different like early game lines, but primarily it was you're getting a 5-cost out early, or you're waiting a turn so you could get power line out on your turn 4 instead, or being able to shift power line. If you go like power line is when the 6 Akut, you play a Lilo for free to ready it. Next turn you could shift and pop off. So the list I have built now, it's pretty much all of like those Amber songs that are drawing a card. So there's the Moon Lullaby, there's the one that gives Bodyguard for a turn, which is very good with the Copper. So like if Copper rushes in and then you give it Bodyguard afterwards, like they have to rush into that, and then all your Singers are safe. You can even Ruben to like heal damage off the Copper to help play other things early for free. Like there was a lot of synergy there, and also just when Powerline hits another +1 spell, you're going plus in hand from singing those 2 songs back to back. You're kind of doing that in your list too, because when you just you dig a little deeper, you're getting 2 cards, and then you get a second dig a little deeper and get 4 cards. Like you're probably popping off drawing a little bit more than what we are. But hopefully I'm doing it with like lots of earlier bodies without
Yeah,
having to
with
do
more
the ramp.
tempo, basically.
Yeah. So I played against Alec, got crushed because again he has so many ways to deal with I think the first game I literally I went Mulan Ruben and you went Isis kill Mulan, and I was like, oh, okay, the game is over, I guess. And then I think similar thing happened game 2 where Alec, you're muted.
I don't think you found a lot of your draw in that first game either.
I don't
that
think
was one of the
so.
issues
Yeah,
you had.
it was
Well-
definitely our games were not. We did not pop off. That's for sure. But you just have so many ways to deal with like the ready characters but like by the time I was like, oh, I could play this play like 2 power lines, threaten the shift from them both, and you're like, okay, let it go this one, and then Elsa tap that one, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Ugh.
But grab your bow is nuts, especially with Della's. Like if you are able to Della's one thing and then grab your bow, kill a 4 strength character and a 2 strength character.
What Della is.
Yeah,
It's a very obscure card.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just removal and then also grab your bow potential. I was not playing Headless Horseman in this version. Maybe
I don't
that's a
think
mistake.
Powerline.
Enable marching off to battle a little bit more, truthfully.
Yeah, it would definitely help you sing that better. Which is maybe like I think that's for the next version I built. That's something I'm trying. But I also faced just 2 aggro decks afterwards. Debbie was playing yellow purple, very quick, because she's doing like Pocahontas to like boost up the lore of her characters, and then she's shifting the Pocahontas the next turn. So if I did not have grab your bow, there's just nothing I could do for that turn because the rest of the deck is like I have these big guys that can challenge and swing in, like Copper and all that stuff. Lost that final game because she was able to shift Pocahontas, and I did not have any songs in hand, so there was nothing I could do. This Copper was sitting there staring, being like, "Yikes! I can't kill any of these guys." Final game against Tyler. He's a newer player locally, one of Sarah and Marty's friends. They've had him on this like the green purple burn tempo. That went to a game 3. The final turn of that game was crazy. Again, this is where like the power line pops off, you know. So I had a power line in play and like a Reuben and like a couple characters with like 1 damage on them, and I was at 3 lore, I think, to start the turn, and he was at 13, threatening to go to 19. But I know he has like instant lore in hand at least. It's got to be like either like Gathering Knowledge or White Rose or something, you know. So I know and he has, you know, all these ready characters. I have no grab your bows in sight, so I got to figure out something to do. So it was sing the Bodyguard song to draw a card, and then Powerline sang Della's to like weaken the one character that did have strength on his board, draw a card, then Powerline got Be Our Guest off the top. We're already played 3 actions, so Lilo's live now. I have 1 Lilo in hand. Off the Be Our Guest, I get an Olaf, which now there are 7 characters in the discard.
Actions, you mean?
Or 7 actions in the discard, yeah.
Right.
So then I Reuben for 1 to be able to play it for 1 cost instead. Do that. And then I have the free Lilo to play, so I do the Lilo to ready the tapped Reuben again, so I can play another, just to try to get as much lore into the board as possible. So the Olaf lowers by 2. I quest for 3, I think, with the remaining guys that I have. And I have 16 on board, up to 6, and the big power line is bodyguarded, and he has 0 strength on all of his characters in play. So he Amethyst Chronicons, and then plays another Amethyst Chronicon, gets the Gathering Knowledge, gets up to 19, and he has no other, he's spent. He has nothing left. He can't challenge my board at all, because all those characters are at 0, and Powerline's guarding them all. So it's just like, there's the pop-off potential. And Olaf is pretty funny, especially when you can play him for basically nothing.
Yeah.
Like, is Pirate's Life better? Probably. Would Olaf probably be better in blue-red? I also think yes, just because he can dig a little deeper on his own as well if you don't have Powerline out as an option.
And blue is also playing like Sail and Develop to get more actions in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few more actions in general. I think I have like 20 actions in that list. But with how much you can play characters for less, and between Akut and Reuben and all that stuff, like if you Powerline and hit Akut and they get like another Akut off of that, you draw 2 cards, you're paying like 4 less for the first character you play. Like that's kind of gross.
The amount of songs in your deck that just draw a card was kind of crazy. I think what did you just? I think it was like 18 out of your 20 songs, like all drew a card. I think that's kind of very helpful
Yeah.
to making the power level stay in your deck.
Grab
And
your bow's the only
marching
one.
having, yeah, Grab Your Row is the only one that
Oh, sorry,
did.
grab your bow. So what, 16 then, or 15, 14, somewhere
Yeah,
around there?
then the marching is conditional, so it's like kill something first and then draw, but
But it is draw
still,
two.
yeah, just having
Can't be too good.
yeah, having all the extra, like, just, oh, you're getting another card off of the singing. Like it's popping off. So we're gonna try it a little bit more.
It's so fun.
I think it's a little too disruptable. Um,
Yeah.
Especially with just a board wipe existing. You set all this up and then they just go, oh, I Cindy'd into Moana and I'm already on board wipe territory. Like you're done.
Nobody's playing
But
Moana.
you can
Moana's
play
trash.
a board wipe, right? It's not a song though.
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
Oh my god.
That's why they
Beat
didn't.
still in
That's
the
why it
game?
wasn't a song because of Powerline. That's the
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
reason.
if
Honestly,
you lean
maybe.
towards a build, it might be worth maybe potentially having it in your deck, but otherwise, I don't know if you want to board
I don't
wipe
know, because,
your power
like,
lines.
I think every game I ended with 6 ink.
Ooh.
I mean, I played a lot of aggro, and then our games they didn't last very long, so I had to play more matchups to
Well, I can
see
understand.
like
You
if
think
you
you
can
top
even
off at
feasibly get to that point.
6, right?
You already have you already play characters for
Yeah, you're
so
playing
much
characters
less
for
that you don't
less,
have
yeah.
to
That's what
you don't
I'm
have to
saying,
ink. You have to ink so much.
You'll probably only ever get to the ink count that is needed to play the biggest guy, I think, most of the time. And unless you're drawing
Yep.
mass amounts of cards, it doesn't feel worth it to keep inking at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it's just so cool that we can have these different types of builds for this deck. Look at this random card, bro. Powerline? Who plays that card? But like now with all of the new cards, like blue
All we
red
needed was some
Powerline
songs.
has a lot of glue pieces now. And then yellow red Powerline is like a thing that can exist. It's so cool. And I think that's something that we see with a good chunk of this set is it's just giving a lot of different decks a home. Like having 10 very different decks at League, even though it's the first week and people are gonna play what they want to play and not really make a meta decision. Like, it's just so cool to have that much variety, and especially with so many decks that are different from the decks that were previously good. Like, obviously, Blurple's still good.
Right.
Obviously, Purple Yellow's still good. But, like, people are playing decks that. Green Purple. Nobody plays Green Purple Tempo. Except now you can. And that's cool. I like that. And I think to wrap it all up, my first impression of this set is I think it's going to be really good, and I think it's going to introduce such a lot of cool synergies and cool little things. And maybe it doesn't affect so much of the competitive level, but from like a casual side, I think there's going to be so much cool stuff to play around with and potentially try to break. It's just I'm very excited to keep playing this set, and I will be cooking with Anna for I don't know, God knows how long. I'll try, and I'll let you guys know.
I agree. I think, especially locally. I mean, like you mentioned it already, but the just variety of the different decks. Not a single deck was like the same at all on Monday. Maybe some ink colors matching. Like I said, 2 green purples, but very different. 2 amber steels, very different. 2 purple yellows, very different. But no, not a single deck of. And then again, like none of the like super meta relevant deck. Not a single green blue. Nobody's showing up with green blue Clarabelle trying to
Look, aggro would have
disrupt things just yet.
destroyed them.
Yeah. Even Under the Sea, it's not happening.
Which
Sorry.
is probably good for the meta, not gonna lie. To just make people want to play the game more. They have these aggro decks. I don't want to gas up aggro decks. I hate aggro. But like
Aggro makes you play less because you only play a couple turns.
Sorry,
I don't want to play
4 of
less,
the
I want to
6
play
decks
more.
were
So play control
4 of
decks.
the 6 decks were aggro on Monday. So
Powerline's basically control. He's control combo. He's combo. It's different.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like just the fact that we had I don't know, that was probably like 20, 25 minutes talking about one card that got super interesting because of everything that's come out. Like today it was the Powerline podcast. Next week it's going to be the Retro Evolution Device podcast. Like, I'm just kidding. I will never let that happen.
I don't know. I don't know if it was really about Powerline. I think I heard a lot of Grab Your Bow being really good, honestly.
Grab your
As a
bow.
two of beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't play Marching Off to Battle in mine. I don't think it's good enough. The Let It Go reprint is
I don't
also
think you need
just
to.
great.
Blue Red has a harder time probably killing things earlier off in the game, I think.
Yeah, just because it's ramping. But like,
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of
I don't
bodies
know.
already.
Like the Akudata Moody, like that helps the yellow version so much. Just very cool to be able to have these discussions about these decks that like nobody was playing before except me. Like, I don't know. This is exciting for me.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's exciting for everyone else. And
Yes.
I know Ivan's over there. He's being kind of quiet, but I know he's cooking something in his head. And I want to know what you're
Anna's
thinking about.
trash.
Anna's trash. We know this. We Ben knew this.
Prove
And
me
then you're gonna
wrong.
I'm
cook all
trying. No,
set,
I'm
and then you're gonna
trying.
switch
I
back to your
can't.
bread and
I
scissors always
can't.
say.
Prove me wrong.
I can't. I'm
That's the only
trying.
reason I'm saying it. It's because I want you to prove me wrong.
Okay. After
I already
Even,
proved
Powerline.
you wrong with retro.
Well, no,
As
you
they
didn't.
were also even like we're looking at like all the different like deck types, and like I have 4 different decks for just one color combo, right? So I think we could see a lot of variety this set. Again, what does it affect competitively wise? Like I think competitively wise, there might still just be a couple top decks that's gonna be like your Blurples, Purple Steel. Again, Yellow Blue probably gets up there.
Blue Steel
Blue
potentially.
green.
Blue Steel, yep. Like I think
Purple.
competitively wise, those might still be
I mean,
the
you
top
just listed a
dogs, but I
lot
think
of
for
decks.
us, it is a lot of decks. Yeah, which one will be like the top? You know,
All of them except
I
Red
have a
Steel.
hunch.
Dogs.
I have a hunch. Yep. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, dogs.
dogs.
Forgot dogs.
Dogs will
Red
be up
Steel.
there.
We haven't reached that point of people wanting to just
Play the good decks.
do metas yet. Yeah.
Yeah. But I am seriously like I think last set I was more just like I'm gonna like dive into the competitive like here's what we're playing. I'm just gonna play Purple Steel, we'll figure it out. I'll add the new cards. I want my Demonas and my Hades. This set I'm like, I'm gonna take a couple weeks to just play some fun stuff because it actually seems like it makes me wanna go play at League just because I feel like I'm gonna have a better experience playing and testing stuff that I want to test instead of being like, I'm playing the Blurple Purple Steel matchup that I've played 100 times before. Like, can we play something else? Like, it's just cool to have the little difference, at least in the beginning of the set, to just maybe kind of wash our brains a little bit from all of the meta stuff. Just a little nice break. All right.
All right.
So, Alec, if you're not gonna play Blurple, what are you gonna play?
I definitely at the beginning of the set was thinking with how good Grandmother Willow looked that I would try playing Purple Yellow because I thought they kind of looked like their ramp was better than our ramp. After trying out Isis and realizing that Blurple might be able to contend with it, I'm on the 50-50. I'll probably play both and figure out which one I'm more in the mood for set champs. I think the brewing deck for the set for me is probably going to be blue red, not Powerline, unfortunately. More of like the Maui
mistake.
Shark and Hades. What?
So you like my deck?
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
said-
saying. Because I tried your deck and I really liked the way yours felt. I definitely would love to keep trying that one out. Just make some minor adjustments
Good.
as I go, just see if it feels worth it. But I don't know if I feel good enough to play that at set champs yet.
That's a long ways away. Austin, what's the next deck you're playing with?
What am I bringing tomorrow? Let's see.
Oh, true. It is tomorrow.
Um,
I keep forgetting.
So the 4th red yellow deck I have is red yellow locations with we're racing to the finish line.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother, indeed.
Look,
Probably the worst of the 4, but we're gonna try it.
okay.
What I might actually, I guess I think the best deck I've been putting together is the princess focus one. Just figuring out the list because I know how to play that one consistency wise. I think it's good. If blue yellow is like a deck that is going to be popping off and there's going to be board wipes going around and like you're ramping me with Hades and Let It Goes, then I think having the sensor cores like backup draw and ink, like lore potential is going to be good. Figuring out a list for that, but racers could be still fun. I think. I don't know. Racing to the finish line probably more meme worthy, but
Definitely just fun.
But fun
Maybe.
is good.
Yeah.
I like the new beat. I like the new beast. With that, you just you
sure.
put a starting line out there. The next turn, you beast and you move them over and you rush and kill something for free.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I really like that beast.
Well, we'll see tomorrow, I guess. Ivan, what are you bringing?
Maybe.
I already said it.
Oh yeah, you're right. John Smith's Compass. Nah, get this out of here. Next week on the podcast, I'll be praising this card, being like, "Oh my god, it's the best thing I'm just joking. This card is trash." I
decided I'm playing blue green just to pop John Smith's Compass tomorrow.
Don't worry, I'll have benches in my purple steel list. You're never gonna get a
go.
John Smith trigger.
Oh, you're gonna
unfortunate.
get triggered, all right.
All right.
You know it.
And I am still gonna bring Powerline. Come on, this deck is so fun. But I do want to keep trying to put together an auto list that works. So that's what I'm gonna go do right now. Thank you guys for watching the Ink and Pass podcast. Like, subscribe, leave a question for question of the episode down in the comments below. Leave any comment. Tell us what you did like, didn't like, what you're excited for the new set, what deck you're going to be playing at your locals. Stay tuned for the future episodes. I'm going to go cook with some Ana. Bye.
I'm gonna go look at my enchanted Ana.